Introduce you. Well, I'm thrilled about this because Michala trained me on this last week. I had a one-on-one session with her, so that was super exciting. We kind of actually ended up doing this together. She was working on her report while I was working on mine. And so I don't know if all of you know Michala. She lives in Minden, Nebraska. She's a calf wrestling ranch wife. She and Mark have 4 incredible kids. Marley, I'm gonna try.
Yeah, good luck with this one.
I know all of them. I know all of them, but I can never remember. Marley, Micah, Merrick, and Madden. She's a pharmacist. She's a health coach. She's the owner of Striding Through Cancer website. She's a doer of good, a future Juice Plus Live main stage trainer. And after you hear her training today, you're going to understand more of why I say that. She is one mission, one team, one mission minded mama, and she's an awesome friend. So Michala Petersen, take it away.
Thank you, Jake. Well, Jake has been working magic on, I have quite a few gifts, but one of them is not graphic design. And so Jake made the mistake of letting that little cat out of the bag before I went to Phoenix to train in January, and just turned a mediocre PowerPoint, less than mediocre, let's be honest, into a work of art. And so we've been kind of trading things back and forth. And anyway, she just did her magic again. And now I think I can add to that, like, bio writer also, because that was like way better than my current bio. So I am so excited to be with you. And I'm just curious, show of hands, how many of you have this amazing sheet that Jake completely revamped to make it way more user-friendly? You have that in front of you? Okay. How many of you have your PVC and your 12-month analysis in front of you? Okay. Jake, some don't have it. Do you think we should pull it up on the screen and share screen so they can see it, or just roll with it?
The PVC, do we have a dummy?
No.
Oh, you want to do that? Yeah, I can do that. If you give me.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to roll with it. So first of all, I'm going to tell you that this whole thing, I learned about the Mapping the Downline Growth and PVC report probably 3 years ago. And I just want to say that I got to NMD without even knowing any of the numbers, without knowing how to read a PVC report, not caring about reading a PVC report. And you may be just like me. However, I do have team that really want to know where they are numbers wise, that really are numbers people. And so you morph into the leader that people need you to be, right? That's one of the ways that we can serve people. So this is one of those deals that, how many of you are familiar with Dave Ramsey? Okay, so when I first heard of Dave Ramsey, I was very skeptical and like, nope, I don't need a budget. I don't want somebody telling me where to put the money. And then once you take the course, or once you listen to his podcast or his daughter's podcast even, you realize how liberating it is to be able to know at the end of the month what happened to your money or what didn't happen to your money, right? And so that's exactly the way I feel about the mapping your PVC. Because to me, and I think Jake can attest to this, and Jake, you interject any little nuggets you have to share after our call last week. But I think this is so powerful because although the sheet may look intimidating, literally you just go down the column. So I'm not doing anything for you on this call that Jake couldn't do, that Susie couldn't do. I'm going to be reading the sheet and then interjecting the little nuggets of why I do it or how I do it. Okay. So this is going to give you control over your business though. It's going to give you confidence in knowing the people to reach out to, in, you know, knowing where you need to kind of come alongside the leaders and where you need to maybe not spend so much time too. It's just totally liberating. And the goal is that after you map your PVC, I would say if you're a sales coordinator above for sure, but even a QSC and above, you should have your daily method of operation where you can kind of know your roadmap for the next few weeks, right? Know who you need to talk to. And then we also have this other awesome tool. It's called Mapping Your Preferred Customer Genealogy. And between this report, between mapping the PVC and mapping the preferred customer genealogy, it should take all of the guesswork out of it for you. And you should be able to just roll with it in addition to reaching out to new prospects, because we all know you know, we need to be reaching out to at least 2 new prospects a day if you want your business to flourish, right? Okay, so the first thing we're going to do on this sheet is we're going to go down your PVC report and we're going to star your workers. So you may wonder, what is a worker? And you may also be wondering, am I a worker, right? Because we do want to be workers, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to star the people that you have a Voxer chat with. Maybe the people that are kind of up and coming don't even have a Voxer chat yet. So we want to make sure that they have a Voxer chat and you can connect with them often. They're engaged. That would be a worker to star. How about people that have a strong why and that are teachable, willing to work and care about others? Are they doing a daily method of opportunity? I call it, that's a Kurt Beepers phrase. Connecting you and your upline NMD with people. Those are the ones that you really want to focus in on for the month. And are they becoming leaders? Are they leading their teams? So right now, I'm going to give you, as long as Jake tells me to give you, to go down your PVC report and star all the people on your report that are workers. And you might not get done with this in the time frame that we give, but you'll have a good place to start and can go back and finish it later. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do, and you can have colorful pens for this if you like colorful pens, because I certainly do. You are going to circle the newest title dates, keeping in mind that dates only change for new team or new promotions, okay? So I circle people that are, I would say March new title dates on. If this is something that, you know, maybe you didn't reach out to people when they hit promotions, maybe you want to do January of 2020 on. And this is so you have the first, you can see the column that it says title date right to the right of their phone number. And then
down here on the bottom too, Michala. Down here.
Right there. Okay, there you go. Okay, so have you or your sponsor congratulated them, reached out to them? Do they understand what it takes to get to the next step? Do they want to get to the next step? And I would say if they are a new partner, it is really important to reach out to them to make sure they know about your team calls, to make sure they know about the opportunities. Do they know about the Freedom Revolution or the Healthy Living Revolution, how we can come alongside customers? That's really important that they feel a part of the community, because what we're finding on our team is right now more than ever, it really doesn't matter about the product or the business. People want a positive community. And so do they know how to plug into that? And can you engage them as a worker? Can you turn them into a star? Go ahead and circle the newest title dates. That shouldn't take very long. And you know, on the virtual office, you have on your alerts where it says your team has, you know, 23 new reps this month or new partners this month. I have a script in my notes section of my phone, and it's like intro to the team or welcome to the team. And so that's something, you know, especially if you're in a leadership position, that's something really good to do, to introduce yourself to your team, because you want them to see you as a leader. So you don't have to wait until you're a national marketing director or a qualifying national marketing director to introduce yourself to the team. the more touches that person gets, the more welcome they will feel and the more likely they will be to stay. So it's just a quick little message that I say, you know, welcome to the team. These are the events that we have. And then at the bottom, I've copied and pasted my Voxer story, because not everyone, unfortunately, not everyone on our team connects their people to me. Most do, but there may be people that I don't necessarily have a chance to get in front of. Maybe they have a leader that does an excellent job, and so I'm not always connected to them. So that message makes it so when they do hit a promotion and I congratulate them, they know the story to go with the text message or the story to go with the phone call. It's not like I'm introducing myself awkwardly as I'm saying congratulations on getting to sales coordinator, you know? So that's really something to get started doing, and it's not hard to create a message in your phone that you can copy and paste to anyone on your team. Okay, so column 3, circle promotional PVC, which I think that's called PV now, I'm not sure. But notice if they are close to slow tracking, and I'm not sure if you know what slow tracking is. Honestly, we've slow tracked 1 or 2 sales coordinators. The rest of our team has been fast track everything, because to me, I think if they have the desire to get to the next level, then they should have the desire to snag the money that's on the table for getting to the next level, right? And so I don't want them to have any guilt or shame around that. I want them to know there's no guilt or shame, by the way, in slow tracking either. But I just want to go over that with you. I think maybe it's on the bottom somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, right there. Okay, so to slow track to Partner Plus, that's a 5% commission. They need 4,000 cumulative points. So again, when you circle that promo PV, you're going to see that. To get to qualifying sales coordinator, they will get the extra 10% commission, and that's 12,000 points. Now, slow tracking to sales QSC does not require a new rep, and obviously fast tracking does. And then to slow track to sales coordinator, that's the 15% commission. They need 24,000 cumulative points and a structure of 3 partner pluses. Okay, so again, have you congratulated them, reached out to them? Do they understand? Do they want to get to the next step? I mean, in my opinion, we should be getting everyone to Partner Plus, whether it's the month that they come into the business or when their orders reship, right? We all have those people that want to have a good story first before they share Juice Plus, which I think, I'm sure you guys have had a call about the compliance stuff. I think the new compliance information that has come out that's on your virtual office and in Juice Plus Insights and in the What's New section of your virtual office, I think it is so freeing. Because this is a side note, I talked to a national marketing director the other day that she talked to a gal that she had shared Juice Plus with 5 years ago. That gal is now a qualifying national marketing director on somebody else's team. And she saw her on a Zoom call and reached out after that and said, "Oh my gosh, I had no idea that you joined the business. Can I ask what intrigued you?" And she said, "Well, when you told me your story about your mom that had cancer, in the back of my mind, I said, yep, if I ever get cancer, I'll reach out to her." Right? Her story was way too specific. So now with the compliance recommendations that we have, it is going to allow us to cast our net so wide and keep those personal stories and, you know, what has changed as far as less migraines or whatever in our back pocket. So then when they divulge something else about their health, you can then take that trump card out of your back pocket, so to speak, and say, well, this was my personal experience. But really, there's not a person on the face of the planet that doesn't need more fruits and vegetables. Okay, sidetrack, sorry about that. Can you engage them as a worker? Maybe now's the right time. I have a gal that in July, she has 3 trio orders that are reshipping. And I don't know how this happened. I've never met this gal, but she has 7 Omega orders that are shipping, which I want to get on the phone with her because I don't have anyone that has just Omega orders, and I want to know what results they are seeing because I want to do my own little research test plot. But number 2, if she even adds a duo to those people, she is 3/4 of the way to QSC. So I want to build belief because maybe there's a financial aspect that she's worried about. Anyway, so I'm getting on the phone with her later today and I can't wait. So obviously she is one of those people that when I went through this PVC report and I saw, oh my gosh, how does she have 600 points and I've never met her? And then I go to my preferred customer genealogy report that I do print off once a month. And I know like for you leaders on the team, that's a lot of paper. To me, it's priceless though, because when I'm doing a coaching call with somebody, I can have their PVC report and I can have their preferred customer genealogy, and I can look at it and say, look, this, and this person are reshipping next month. Let's kick it. Let's go for that promotion. You know, we can do a July, August window. You'll already be halfway there just with reships. And it's just so liberating, right? Because I am being seen as the leader that actually is invested in their business and know what's going on. Okay, the next column is circle the 2-digit preferred customers. And did I give you enough time to circle your promo PVC, by the way?
I just want to make a note, Michala, on that slow track. It takes double points to slow track of what it does to fast track, and there's no bonus money involved. So slow tracking is okay, but fast track really has more energy, bonuses, and it's less work.
Yep, for sure. Do you guys need, I can only see 5 of you. Do you need more time to circle the promo PVC, or do you get the gist? Okay, let's roll. And then the next column is circle the 2-digit preferred customers. Have you and your sponsor congratulated them and reached out to them? You see a theme, right? It's like, get in touch with your team. Do they understand what it takes to get to the next step? And can you engage them as a worker? So circle those preferred customers. I know what jumps out to me personally is if I have a person that's a partner or a partner plus, and they have double-digit customers, because to me it's like, dang, they are sharing it. We need to get them to the next commission level. And just a little side note on not getting them to partner plus, you don't get that 3% bonus for qualifying your business unless they're commission qualified. So unless they have 225 PVC running through their business, which is 3 trio customers, you're not going to make that 3%. So especially those partner pluses that don't have 225, you want to help them get an extra customer or two. So you're making that you're making that 3% bonus, but they aren't going to make their commission either unless they have 225. So I circle the promo PVC of anyone that is like on the bubble even and needs more to get to the next level. And then the 2-digit customers, that's just really showing you who loves Juice Plus and that they have credibility with others. And we know that words of affirmation is, that is a lot of people's love language. So I can't tell you the conversations and the businesses that I have seen grow just by reaching out to those people and saying, hey, you got 4 new customers last month. Way to go. What'd you do? Tell me about them. And I'm not perfect at this, but I can tell you that the months that I am very diligent about doing that are the months that our PVC grows and that I feel more in control of our business and more of a leader, which is what they need to see us as. Anything to add there, Jake?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. I'll give you another minute on that. Okay, so then next we're going to underline the PB qualifiers and we're going to put an arrow up or down next to their PBQ, which Jake is circling right there. It's column 4 on your PVC report. And what are we going to do with the arrows? Okay, so we're going to put an up arrow if a partner is coming into qualification. So we know that they need 1,800 points in column 4 in order to qualify in 2020. But in 2021, they're going to need 2,000 points, right? Which looks like about 27 trios. So that's again where you can circle the 2-digit PV, preferred customers and kind of see how that looks. Okay, so we're going to circle 800 and above PVC in that column 4. And this is going to let you know that these people are either A, on their way to qualifying and could need a little support, or we'll go to the down arrow in just a minute. So we want to encourage the Royal Crown. Well, what is a Royal Crown? That's 5 new customers and 1 new rep every month. And then the next month, you're going to turn that rep into the Partner Plus, and the next month, that rep into QSC, and you're just going to keep going. I can tell you from the month that we signed on as a rep, it was August of 2014, and we hit NMD in January of 2016, so like 17 months. It was November of 2016 before I didn't accomplish 5 new customers every single month. Okay, so we know that reps come out of our customer base. So, I'm sure you can do all sorts of training, and you probably already have on customer acquisition and how you get those new customers. But that's a very simple way to build your business, to build your paycheck. Wendy Campbell has an awesome training called PVC to Paycheck, where she shows you what happens, if you do that Royal Crown every month. For a sales coordinator, you can add $597 every single month, if I remember the numbers right, don't quote me, every single month that you do the 5-1. Okay, so that's huge. For a new person, it's like $475 you can add a month. So that's real tangible data of how to grow your paycheck, which is what most people want to do. And if we train this right from the get-go, that you need to add, like I say in every call that I do with a new person, we built to NMD pretty quickly in doing the 5-1, 5 new customers, 1 new rep. Like especially when they're brand new, their warm market is huge, So maybe that's just as simple as sending some messages that say, did you know that fruits and vegetables come in a capsule? That's it. No, really, they do. And then you can go on from there. So, okay, so the other thing that we're going to do in this column is we're going to draw a down arrow if the partner is borrowing from their excess to stay qualified. Because we all know that it is a lot easier to catch it before they get into, before their bonus runs out, and build their team a little bit, build their customers a little bit, and help them stay qualified than it is. My dad used to say, oh, Mr. Mo has changed underwear. Once that momentum is like on the downhill slide, it's hard to get that person re-engaged, especially if there's feelings of shame associated with it. If they don't see themselves as a qualifier, they see their paycheck dip because they're not qualifying. So it's easy to kind of catch that snowball before it hits the bottom of the hill, if you know what I mean. So what are we going to do here? We're going to schedule coaching with both of these scenarios with the sponsor and the NMD, the upline NMD or QNMD, however that looks on your team. And then you're going to do the same with the PBQ column, which is right next to the PB column. Jake's going to circle it there. And we're going to circle 2,500. Now, these are your sales coordinators. And so we're going to circle 2,500 and above. And then we're going to coach them to get to 6,000 because that's where they're going to need to be by 2020. And they will get an extra 3% on all of their sales coordinators once they're POBQ qualified, or I think that's it. Jake, do you have anything to add on that? Nope. Okay, so go ahead and draw this. This one kind of can take a while. So go ahead and draw the up and down arrows. Okay, so the next column is highlight your Payline PVC total on your 12-month analysis report. And the 12-month analysis report is a snapshot of the entire year and where your business has gone. And it may be pretty humbling to look at, honestly. I know my husband and I both have a business. So when I got on a coaching call with Wendy Campbell and she was like, what is going on here? You haven't promoted us. You haven't done this or you haven't done that, not realizing that we were kind of building Mark's business at the time. But anyway, so it's going to show you how many DDs or partner pluses you've promoted, how many qualifying sales coordinators, how many sales coordinators. That report is going to show you a snapshot of, how many qualifiers you have, how many across the board. So it's the best gauge of your business as a whole that you could have. And to find that, you go to My Team Data in your virtual office. And then I believe the very first tab is Manage My Team. And you click on that. And that's going to give you a snapshot of your business. You'll see the graphs at the bottom. And then you just click on previous month's 12-month analysis report. And you can print those out every month. To kind of see where you are going. I do that for our leaders too. I'd like to see where their business is and where it's going and how it's trending. And I like to leave motivational Voxer messages sometimes, or that isn't something that I've always done though, honestly. That's just like really in the last 3 months that I've really gotten into these, like diving into the 12-month analysis especially. And on Wendy Campbell's site, and I'm not even sure if it's not on the Freedom Revolution, there is under training how to read a 12-month analysis report. So it's a little video that you can watch if you want. But we are going to, the Payline total grows exponentially depending on if they're doing a 5-1 or not. And you'll be able to tell if they're doing a 5-1 because they're going to have a new partner plus pretty much in every column if they are doing a new 5-1, or you'll see a new partner added. So that's something that you can do. You can print these off for your team too. And that's also under My Team Data in your virtual office. Okay. Everyone know anything else to add there, Jake?
One thing on that Royal Crown, I think the numbers that you were thinking of are the old numbers. It's $641 now if you do the 511.
Awesome. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so then the last column, you're going to highlight your PB and POB lines on your 12-month analysis report. And this is a soul check, basically, to see, how are you doing? Are you being the leader that walks the walk and talks the talk, or are you just talking the talk, right? So then you can really dive into, how do I change this? I mean, maybe you're kind of like me and was like, I need to be doing more, I think we all can do more, but we all need to give ourselves grace also, right? So for me, I don't feel like I'm succeeding in my business unless I do Teamsy 4 days a week. I want to be 85% or higher at least 4 days a week. I really like to hit it 5 days a week. If you don't have a subscription to Teamsy, man, I could talk for 2 days on Teamsy and the benefits of it. In the first 4 months that we did it, our paycheck increased $1,000 a month. Is that going to be how it is for everyone? No, but I have heard many people that also have that same story. So I love Teamsy because it allows you to feel like you're in control. On the days that I don't want to think, it tells me what people to contact, right? So you can knock it out in a half hour easy. And then it might take a little while to circle back to the messages that you get back. But so if you don't do Teamsy, there's no shame in that. You can do a 2x2x2x2. So you're going to, I used to have, dang, I wonder if I have that sheet here. I don't know. I used to fill these out without fail. I would have them with me all the time. You're going to contact 2 new prospects a day, 2 customers, 2 team members, and follow up to 2 prospects that you contacted, before. So maybe you're new and you don't have 2 new you're not going to contact your 8 customers once a week for, you're not going to do that. So you're going to adjust it. But the 2 prospects and the 2 follow-ups are something that every single person that is brand new to the business can do and should be doing, right? If they want to build a paycheck. So are you doing your own three-way calls with your NMD? Are you getting your people on Voxer? I know on our team, that we have 3 non-negotiables. The first is that they get on Voxer because they're not going to get the best of me if they're not on Voxer. Nothing drives me more crazy than Facebook Messenger, where people talk to text or, push the little button and record a voice message. And then if you get distracted and you hit play, you've got to start all the way back at the beginning. It only records a minute. Anyway, they need to be on Voxer if they're going to be building a business. So that's number 1. Number 2 is we get on a coaching call with my good friend, Michelle, who's my upline NMD, and she can ask the hard questions that I can't. Like, what do you want from this business? What would you do with $500 extra a month? What motivates you? What repels you? That is Catherine Lee's verbiage. And I love asking new reps this, because if I do something that really motivates them, I want to know about it. But on the other hand, if I do something that really repels them, I also want to know about it, because I want to be able to know how they learn and their learning style and different things like that. So some of those things are things that you can be a fly on the wall listening, really edify both parties, and then just sit back and cruise, right? And listen. So I love that. Are you getting your own events with your new team? Are you doing one simple change? I know we've been handcuffed by the current situation in live events, but that's going to be coming back, right? It's back soon in our case. So anyway, are you encouraging them to put people in front of you? Are you doing team 3-way calls? We do this a lot. We'll get an entire leg on the phone, and we'll start with the oldest or the newest rep, and we'll do a coaching with them, looking at their PVC, where they stand, how to get to the next level. And then we'll say, okay, unless you have any questions, you're done. And then we go up the line and up the line and up the line until we're direct to whoever, got the call. So that's something fun to do, because you learn a lot by doing that. You learn a lot by just listening there. Are you having team events for your entire team? Are you, obviously this call is a big thing to plug people into. Are you using social media to your advantage? And one thing that I love is the quote that, I don't know where Carissa Halpine, my best friend, got it, but she says it all the time. You only need to know 10% more than your audience to be effective. So think about on social media, how you hold back or double think posts. And I'm talking to myself right now because I'm the queen of this. How are you holding back? What could you offer that is your own verbiage, that is from your heart, that's going to, compel people to ask more questions? So think about that. Think about what you could do this week, social media wise. That's your challenge, to throw out a good post this week on social media to create curiosity. I know, and if there are great people to follow to emulate. I know in my notes section of my phone, I pretty much just have like an Ashley Hudson section, honestly, because she is so from the heart. And I can take her concept and make it my own verbiage and post it. And I think the end of May, I threw out a depression post with depression statistics and stuff like that. And I think it was a crazy amount of comments. I mean, I was sending, and all I was doing was creating an event around the Dr. Candace Corson title of her talk, which was Natural Solutions for Anxiety and Depression. So you can go on the Freedom Revolution under the trending health topics. You can pick a topic, and that's the video that you want to send, and then craft your message around that. So you are creating an event there. I did a lot of that during quarantine because I wasn't able to do live events, but I could still bless people that were watching my Facebook page, right? And ended up with 3 new trios and 2 new reps out of it. So people are watching. Leverage social media. It is one of the easiest things that you can do because they are watching. Now, just a little snippet, I'm going too long here, but just a little snippet about social media is that if I'm going to post a post like that, and I have talked to, 10 prospects in the last 3 days, I am going to go to those 10 prospects' pages first before I post it. And I'm going to like, and I'm going to comment on their posts, So now all of a sudden Facebook goes, oh, you must be pretty close. The other thing that I will do is if I have a prospect that I know desperately needs Juice Plus or desperately needs the community or desperately needs an extra $500 a month, I'm going to default my Facebook to seeing their post first. So I can be the positive influencer, the amener in their life for whatever they post. You know, I can be there as a support to them. And that way they're already getting a taste of the community, right? And then they will see my post first when I post the depression post or whatever it is, whatever post I'm posting. So shoot for one really good post a week that involves Juice Plus. You don't have to say the name Juice Plus. I would say in 6 years, you would find 6 posts or less where I mention the term Juice Plus. I just want them to be curious and come to me. Polls are awesome on stories. And really, we have no excuse not to use stories. They disappear in 24 hours. Nobody can write terrible comments because it comes directly to our inbox. So it's not like all of Facebook can see the word wars that are going back and forth if it's a controversial topic. So if that's a good starting place, be bold on stories, you know, throw out a poll. Are you ready for more fruits and vegetables? Heck yes, or send me info, you know. Don't ever post a negative thing that they could put no, and then your ego gets, you know, trampled on. Okay, so that's social media unboxer. And then what are you doing personal growth wise? I mentioned that we have 3 requirements to join our team. I told you about 2. The third requirement is the hour and 15-minute listen on Audible to the book Exactly What to Say by Philip M. Jones. It is 22 phrases that will reframe every situation. Honestly, it will change the way you talk to your spouse. It will change the way you talk to your kids and your team, and it'll change the way you coach your team, and including prospects. So life-changing book. I've listened to it 18 times. A lot of you know that I have a couple brothers that are physicians, and I listen to this book anytime I'm going to be around them for a big family function because it gives me like the gusto of how to say things differently. It will take the defensiveness away. We've all had those people that, you know, are very skeptical and can tend to kind of back us into a corner. And by asking good questions to them about what they know about such and such, for instance, it is the best book. Book and author again, please. It is Exactly What to Say by Philip M. Jones. And
It is an excellent book.
Yeah.
I have that book. It's excellent.
It is. Okay, so I hope you're not super overwhelmed at this point. But I think the more you familiarize yourself with this form and the more you just go through your PVC report and do it, I cannot imagine what would have happened if I would have not been overwhelmed by the PVC report and I would have dove into this when I was, you know, a brand new rep or a new BF, which is qualifying sales coordinator now, and how our business would have grown just being able to track it month to month. So I hope it's blessed you. Does anyone have any questions? I'm open to answering anything that you have to ask.
You'll have to just unmute yourself if anybody does. I just want to share something that I did. So as Michala trained me, she told me how she used the information. And so I sat down with mine and I made a list of everything that I needed to do. I made a list of who I wanted to reach out to, my leaders. I made notes on everything about their team so that when I contact them, I've got all of that information right there in front of me. I made a list of who I want to send a card to, who I want to send text to or a message, or who I want to make phone calls to. This has really just helped me to have a map of where I'm going in my business in the month. And I am absolutely, I got off the phone with Michala and I was just giddy excited. So I messaged Susie and Susie got giddy excited. And so that's how all this came about. But anyway, I'll let anybody ask questions now.
Hey, Michala, I just want to say thank you so much. I think I think for all of us, sometimes we just sit down, just like you're saying with the Team Z, we sit down, we know there's so many people, there's so much we could do that sometimes you just get frozen. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know who to, or who is going to make a difference. And I love this because even from the very beginning, and I know this can be really overwhelming. We have a few new people on the line, but it's something to grow into, and just to know, wow, you're going to start getting these reports, and we're going to help you along the way. This isn't one and done. We'll continue to talk about these reports and mapping, and we'll break down little pieces in the coming weeks or months so that you just get used to it. But wow, who even knew these were around, so that we can take these reports and really bring them to life. So thank you so much. I love this collaboration between Michala and Jake, and I love that it spilled over for the whole team to get to have you with our meeting today, Michala. So thank you for this great enlightenment. And yeah, I am giddy excited. I just see this tool as just even better relations, better connections, more direction, and being able to hit more targets. So really cool.
That's awesome. Thanks, Susie. I agree. I mean, even for us, it's like that feeling of overwhelm is one that can kind of creep up for me, especially, you know, raising 4 kids, going to homeschool 4 kids, and, you know, keep on top of my business. And one thing that I have found is that if I map this, I have like Monday, the second Monday in the month from 1 to 4, and I have my schedule blocked out. Like that is my PVC mapping time. And when I do that, I feel like I just am so much more, I have a place to start, right? That's the hard thing, is like, just take 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go and start, right? And so I love that this is a place to do that. Michelle, did you have a question? Oh, okay, I thought you raised your hand. Sorry about that. Kit, go ahead.
This is just backing up to the PB qualifiers column. That last box on there says do the same for your POBQ column. So it used to be 3,000 that they needed. It's 6,000 now?
Right, and the reason is, when it was 3,000, a trio was 75 points.
Okay.
No, a trio was 42.5 points. Okay. Now a trio is 75 points. Sorry, I corrected myself there.
So it's actually 5,400 right now, but you always want to be looking as of January 2021, it will be 6,000. They just kind of grandfathered in and gave a little grace for this year.
Right. And if you don't have a sales coordinator on your team underneath you, you will not have that POB column. So don't worry about that. You can just cross that out if you don't have one, but then once you get a sales coordinator underneath you, then that POB column will surface there.
So the circling the 2,500 just means they're working their way there.
Yes. Yep.
They're on your chart. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Right. Anyone else?
Michala, go ahead. I see someone on the phone.
Do you have a question? Nope, I don't think so. What were you saying, Jake?
Well, you had mentioned that you try to get 85% on your Team Z. Would you explain to everybody how you do your Team Z?
Oh, man. Well, one thing, do you want to stop the recording, or you want to keep recording this?
No, I think it's helpful.
Okay, well, when I used to do Team Z, I would reach out to all the prospects that had birthdays that day. But I would never do it on their birthday because I don't like rules and I don't like being mainstream. So I would reach out a day or two after their birthday, and I would say something like, hey, Dar, happy birthday. A day late. I hope you're still celebrating, and I hope your day was full of laughter, adventure, and blessing, right? And then I would say, what are you most excited for this year? Well, I did get 2 reps doing that. 2 reps in 6 years, right? And everyone else is reaching out to them on their birthday. So I would fill up my prospects with just reaching out to birthdays. And then I thought, that really is dumb, because, I mean, A, I should be still reaching out to people on their birthdays, but B, how, if the concept of Teamsy is to make people feel special and make their day, how is doing something that everyone else is doing on the day that everyone else is doing it, or the week that everyone else is doing it, making them feel special because I message them rather than writing on their wall or putting it in their stories? No, that's not good enough. So in the last year, I have actually buckled down and done what Teamsy says to do, which is the 5 prospects that are in the hopper, I message them. Because before, I would see a person on the prospect list and I would go, really don't want to talk to them. I really don't know what I would say. None of the scripts really fit. And those 5 stinking prospects would stay in the hopper for 8 weeks because I could fill it up with birthdays, right? So I've learned to get over myself there and to just do what it says to do. So I was lofty and I said I wanted to increase my paycheck every month by $7,000. Well, that is not realistic, first of all. Because you end up having to add 3 brand new people, try doing that in quarantine, and share with 3 people every day, in addition to 5 prospects, 5 customers, and 4 teams. That's a lot. So I was so frustrated with myself because I would only hit like 65% and I felt like I was doing everything I could, right? But in quarantine, it's hard to meet 3 new people a day. You know, like I'm having to stalk some real Instagrammers and message them privately in order, and you know, like that's just not feasible. So I would say you can go in and alter your Teamsy goals and you can make it more realistic. So now I add 1 new person a day, which is doable for me, especially if we're out and about. And I create a lot of events from the Healthy Living Revolution. The other thing that I do, which could be a whole Teamsy training in its own right if you want that, but the other thing that I do is I am a tagging Nazi almost. I tag everything.
Fanatic.
Right? What?
You're a tagging fanatic.
Fanatic, yeah, that's better than Nazi. You're right. I like that. I can't believe I haven't thought of that. Because I always like pause before I say it because I don't know what to say. Okay, good. I'm a tagging fanatic. So I tag their job, what their husband does, the town they live in, the town they're originally from, how many kids they have, what disease states they have, what events I've invited them to, what information I've sent them to, if they're on a trio, a quad, a tower garden, a shake, whatever it is. Because then when I go to the Healthy Living Revolution and I see Dr. Sears's Omega video, I can either create an event by A, building belief in those people that are taking Omegas, B, I can pull up the trios and the shakes and see who's not taking Omegas, and see if they have heart disease, eye disease, brain disease, depression, anxiety, whatever. I have a whole population now to reach out to privately and say, I just watched the most amazing video about Omegas. It specifically relates to heart health or eye health or whatever they have. I would love to send it your way. I know you'd find value in that information. And then I have, 20 people to invite to an event and 20 people to follow up with. And then I log them all in Teamsy with the information that I sent. And that's just an easy way to find your raving fans, to find your dream team. And the person with the most tags usually is a person of interest to you. Does that make sense? Yeah. I love Teamsy. Although it was overwhelming in the beginning, it's not anymore. Any other questions? Oh, I didn't look at the chat. Okay. Anything else, Jake?
No. How does everybody feel about this? Are you feeling good about stepping into your business now and feeling like you're empowered? I totally feel empowered. Or are you still like, oh, this is a lot of information, I need to digest it?
Well, it's a lot, but it's awesome. I'm glad that it's recorded so I can go back and do it again. I'll just be honest, I didn't have the forms printed out. And so it'll be great to go back again and really do what you were saying, Michala. I have not ever taken the time to really do what you're talking about. So I'm really glad that you guys have put this together. So thanks.
You bet.
And I think it's great that it's recorded because you can just listen to one step, stop it, do what she's doing, digest that, box us questions if you have them, and then go to the next step. And that way you don't have to try to remember anything. So.
And it doesn't really even mean that you have to map the entire PVC report in one setting. You know, I've had it before where I get the first 3 columns done and I get interrupted. And that's what's neat, is that you can go back. You know, I would say you probably want to map it in a 3-day range just so you can remember everything. But I just have a little piece of scratch paper sitting next to me. And as I'm going through the reports, I'm taking notes on what I need to do and who I need to contact and where I need to go from here.
Well, I have a question. Would you guys think it would be helpful for those who have not been on this call this morning to mention where they should go, especially a lot of the newcomers, where they should go to find these forms to work on? Because I think this is a just really great streamlining that you did, Michala. And I think of all the new people, and they're not all on here. Would that be efficient to mention, okay, guys, if you don't know where to go, I mean, I know we mentioned it in several places, but why not on here where all of the steps are mentioned to follow?
For sure. I think Jake is going to upload this form to your Facebook page.
It's already on our Team Ignite Facebook page. Both of the PVC mapping and the preferred customer. The PVC is going to get updated. Michala's connecting me with. Michala is forwarding everything, or has forwarded everything to Wendy Campbell, and Wendy wants some things updated. So we're going to collaborate and get those things updated. And then I will, as soon as that happens, I don't know if it'll be this week or next week, because I got a funeral to go to this week out of state. So I don't know if it'll happen this week or next week, but once that's done, I will get that uploaded and that will be all updated.
Yeah, and eventually it'll be on the Freedom Revolution, we hope.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I'm saying is that there's so many places for us to check. So the most efficient.
It's in the files section of Team Ignite right now.
Okay.
If you go to Team Ignite Facebook, it's right there.
It will come to life as we, you know, we won't maybe have all these forms at once, but we'll keep breaking it down. Today, we want you to bring this report. You know, we can break it down. I think to try to have a very brand new person just pull all of this, which they're not really going to have a report. They don't have a team. I don't think it's a good use of their time. But we'll be spoon feeding along the way to help people fly out of that nest.
Sounds good.
Carol, did you have a question? No. Okay. I thought she was going to say something. What were you saying, Kit or Dar?
Oh, I just said I was just concerned about the new people, but that makes sense, Susie.
Yeah. And we had talked about making this call like kind of a leadership call, but really, gosh, I mean, even if you learn, I mean, think back to your business. If you learned how to do this when you had 1 rep, I mean, it would only take you 10 minutes to map your report, right? But can you imagine if every person that came on, you felt confident in coaching them through their numbers? I mean, amazing.
Do any of you remember going to Wendy Campbell's PVC report sessions 18 years ago when they started trying to teach us how to read this? So it's become a lot more simplified.
Yeah.
I've tried to block it out.
Yeah. Right.
I think my head is still spinning.
Oh, I know. It can be a lot, but you know, it's that saying, how do you eat an elephant 1 bite at a time? You know, so you just do what you can, and at least you're aware of it after this call, right? You're aware that when those PVC reports come at the end of the month, you don't have to be fearful or, you know, think of them with dread. You can think of them in a different light, which it's all about perspective, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited because we're close to the end of the month, so I'm going to get to use what I've learned. And then as soon as I get my new PVC report, I'm already blocking out time for that. That way I can just jump right in and get rolling for the next month. So I'm looking at this instead of like with dread, because before it wasn't really dread, but it was more like, I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. I do my best that I can, but now I'm like, oh, now I get it. I have a better understanding of it. So now I can look at this with excitement and who do I get to focus some time with this month? And, you know, who are going to be my stars this month that I get to work with, and who do I get to send some messages to? I think that's exciting to me.
And the best use of your time, honestly, once you get this down, I think we're sent the PVC reports on like the 20th of the month, and then again the 25th, and then again the end of the month. And so it would be great to even sit down and do kind of a rough map of your PVC report on the 20th. And that way you have 10 days to motivate people. I mean, nothing is more frustrating than missing qualification by 2 trio orders, you know? So that really is where you can shine as a leader, is to reach out and say, oh my gosh, you have 900 PVC. Let's get an Omega order or a complete order and finish off that Partner Plus before the end of the month. You know, I mean, we all should be doing that anyway, but let's be realistic. How often do we see one that kind of slips through the cracks, if you will? And so this can empower you to prevent that.
Are you printing it out, or is there an online way that you're doing it?
I am really a pen to paper person. So okay. I like to, I mean, if you see my PVC report, it is like, I mean, it is totally colorful. I don't know if you can even see that, but no, I like seeing all the colors. I like seeing all the marks. I'm sure you could figure out a way to do it online, but I feel like the less screen time I can have and the more I can do hands-on, the better my brain retains it.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Well, thanks again, Michala, and thank you.
It's been fun
bringing Michala in. We loved having you today. We would just love to have you back again in the future. So
anytime, you just name it.
Have to do a little bit more collaborating. It's wonderful. So hey, thanks everybody. I know that we had several people were sharing some trepidation to get, I don't know the numbers, different things. So hopefully they're watching the recording right now and they won't be so scared. So thanks everybody for coming. And does anybody have any final questions before we let Michala off?
I just want to say you give a real positive perspective, and that's so helpful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Dar.
You know what I see it as? I see it as people, like if you know you have a big bill coming in, people either don't open the bill or they don't want to know about the bill. And that's how I see some people with their reports. It's like, I know I didn't really have a good month, or they just want to look at the bottom number, but they don't want to dig into how did they get to that situation and what are the solutions to get out. And I feel like that's what Michala's brought to us now, that now we can open it and say, yeah, that's my number right there. And do I want it to change? What do I have to do? So super cool. All right, you guys, well, we will be in touch. We will be setting up some huddle calls and things, and we could go through some of these materials to make you feel more comfortable at that time too. But thanks for giving so much of your time today, Michala. You're a rock star. We sure appreciate you.
Thank you.
No
Love
problem.
you.
Thank
really
you.
Appreciate